Hello guys, welcome back. It's Masha. Today I am decluttering and organizing my entire kitchen and taking you along. This is something that I like to do to my entire house in December before the new year begins. I'm Russian and we have a lot of symbolism around the new year, which is basically our biggest holiday. We have a saying that goes something like, how you greet the new year is how you'll spend that year. And that's always really stuck with me, and I really like going into the new year feeling really organized and at peace with all my belongings. I also just naturally don't like having a lot of things. Clutter, whether visual or physical, makes me really anxious and unfocused, and I want all the things that I do have to be in use. I also generally don't like having duplicates of things like tools, and I don't just do this kind of decluttering in December, I do it throughout the year, about 4 times a year, because no matter how mindful I am of bringing new stuff into the house and of what I already have, things just accumulate. To me, this is especially true of the more often used areas of the house, and I spend tons of time in the kitchen developing recipes and cooking, so this is definitely an area of focus for me. And this is just such a great practice to do regularly, because even though you think you know of all the things that you own, it's amazing how quickly you forget about them once they're stored out of sight. So there are a few specific areas that I know that I'll really need to focus during this particular declutter. Firstly, my drawers. I finally got silverware organizers, which were so hard to find because these drawers are weird in size, which is also why I couldn't get any nice looking organizers, just this plain gray. My strategy when doing this type of declutter is to take everything out, sort through to make sure I use all the things, and wipe down the area before returning everything back. I just use a really simple 1-to-1 water to white vinegar spray that I make myself, and I add some nice smelling essential oils just to make it smell better. Then I'll do the drawer next to it, which has some commonly used tools like measuring cups and spoons. The cabinet underneath holds pots, lids, and unused pans that I'll need to declutter. There are also pantry items that don't fit in the pantry, which I aim to make fit once I reorganize the pantry. Then I have a large drawer, which was originally supposed to hold larger tools and utensils, like my rolling pin, citrus juicer, and random loose bits, but it's turned into a total junk drawer, and it's just a horrible mess. This one is going to be kind of tricky to organize, but I got another larger size silverware organizer that will hopefully help me. Then I have a drawer that holds super nice Italian silverware that my husband and I got as a wedding gift. It's so beautiful, and I use it at dinner parties and when food styling for photos. Up until now, I've been keeping it all in its original boxes, which makes it a total pain to take out, so I'm moving it all to an organizer as well. Next is the produce bag, kitchen towel, and napkin drawer, which just needs to be tidied up. I like to have all these things stored vertically so that I can see everything that I have. I do this with my clothes as well, and it's been a total game changer. Then I have this cabinet. The top is my herbal medicine shelf, where I keep dried herbs, mushrooms, beautiful herbal tinctures that my mom makes, etc. I'm gonna get rid of any herbs that are old or that I don't use and just tidy up. In the same cabinet are glass jars and cups that I'll sort through as well, and on the very bottom shelf are everyday plates and bowls that don't really need decluttering. Moving on to the other wall, we have these open shelves that I need to dust, making sure to dust from top to bottom, which I often forget to do. Underneath is a cabinet with appliances like my juicer, food processor, ice cream maker, as well as my husband's coffee tools, and some random bits that need to find a better home. Now onto the pantry. It's in a bit of a state right now. I dream of having a pantry with pull-out drawers to see exactly what I have instantly, but for now I got these clear bins for the top 2 shelves to mimic the drawers. I find that the lower shelf is low enough where I can pretty much see what I have without needing bins. It's got vinegars, tamari, maple syrup on one side, and bulk items on the other. The middle shelf is grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. This is usually when I'll find something like a bag of lentils that I didn't even know I had, and I'll proceed to cook lentil soup with them that evening, making a meal out of something that I didn't know I had. The top shelf is baking stuff and pasta. I often have a problem with leftover small bits of mismatched pasta shapes laying around, and I usually find a way to work them into a meal by cooking the pasta shapes that take around the same amount of time together. A minestrone soup is great for this. Lastly, I'm going to do a little bit of beautifying. So we have this back wall in the kitchen, and it's not even a real wall. It feels really thin, and we don't think it can be drilled through. We think it maybe was like a little opening, a door or a window that was filled in, and it's definitely not a legitimate wall, which is the thing that's been stopping us from putting anything up there. But I've been wanting to have a peg rail in my kitchen for as long as I can remember, and I'm finally getting around to it. So I love peg rails because I think they look super nice and they're functional. I can hang my apron up there, I can dry herbs on it, I can hang little bits of decor. I really want to get an Adirondack basket to put on there. And my solution to the hanging problem is I'm just going to use command strips. This is a rental, so we can't make any permanent changes to anything, and command is just awesome for rental situations. And I'm going to make sure not to put anything too heavy on the peg rail so that the command strips hold up, but honestly they feel really strong up there. I'm so happy that I'm finally getting around to doing this. This is just gonna make the kitchen look so much cozier, and it's gonna give a little function to that back wall. Okay, so that was super awesome. I'm feeling so pleased with the results, and this is everything that I decluttered that I'm going to either donate, recycle, or discard if it's just not usable at all. So let's tally all of this up. So I have these pumpkin carving tools, which we're just never gonna use. This spatula, and I already have another one like this, and like I said, I don't like having duplicates, so I'm letting this go. I have this cup, which is like for brewing tea. It's really nice, but it's been leaking, and it's been leaking like this for like half a year, but I still kept it, which is why these decluttering processes are so important, because we tend to just, in the busyness of life, bypass stuff like this and just let it keep living in our homes, and it's just not great. So finally letting this go. I have this cute little black cup. This is just way too small for me. I never ever drink a drink that's this small. I like huge mugs, but this is very cute, so I'm gonna donate it. I have this little copper shot glass, which I have no idea where it came from. It's very cute, but I just don't use it, so I'm gonna let this go too. These are paper cups from an event that I participated in years ago, and I've just kept them around for years and years and never used them, so finally passing them on. I have this green pan, which is a non-stick pan, and these are great. I love them, but all non-stick pans lose their non-stick properties eventually. So I actually already replaced this one with the same exact one because this one got sticky, and for some reason I've kept this. I don't know why, but I'm never gonna use it, so letting this go. Moving on, I have all of this stuff, and it's in a plastic container that doesn't have a top, that I don't get any use out of. This is like a biking water bottle that broke, the top broke. This is a Yeti thing. I'm not even sure what it is. I think it's like for holding alcohol, but we never use it. I have these two cute little bottles, glass bottles, that I also just never use because I find them really hard to clean. And I have 2 beer koozies, and we already have other ones, and these ones don't get much use, so letting them go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's a total of 14 items, and this is actually pretty minimal when it comes to decluttering because I do this process all the time. Otherwise, if I were to do this process just once a year, I think that my pile would be way bigger. So this is great. I'm feeling super good about this. The kitchen is feeling so fresh and sparkly and ready for the new year, and I'm in the process of doing this kind of thing to my entire home, and it's just been really fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video will maybe inspire you to give your space a little bit of a end of year review, and I will see you next week.